What was Chicago blues' unexpected impact on British rock bands? Imagine a sound that's raw, electric, and full of emotion suddenly crossing the Atlantic and inspiring a whole new wave of music. That's what happened with Chicago blues in the 1960s. This style of blues, which started in the 1930s and 1940s in Chicago, was all about amplified instruments, a strong rhythm, and soulful vocals. Artists like Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, Little Walter, and Willie Dixon made it famous. Their music was born from earlier acoustic blues but grew into something more urban and powerful. It was perfect for big clubs and dance halls, and it had a gritty, emotional edge that really connected with listeners. Now here's the interesting part. When British musicians first heard Chicago blues records, they were blown away. They found it exciting and different from the jazz and folk music they knew. The electric guitar solos, the expressive harmonica, and the driving rhythms opened their eyes to a new way of playing and feeling music. This led to what's called the British blues movement. Bands like the Rolling Stones, the Yardbirds, Fleetwood Mac, and Cream started to adopt and adapt Chicago blues into their own sound. From a jazz perspective, Chicago blues was a big step forward. It took the traditional blues and added amplified instruments and a more pronounced rhythmic drive. This was similar to jazz's move toward electric instruments and groove-based styles. British bands absorbed these elements, mixing them with jazz influences and creating a fresh sound. They used blues scales, improvisation, and extended solos, which made rock music more complex and expressive. One major impact was that British bands helped revive and reintroduce blues to American audiences. They covered classic Chicago blues songs and brought new attention to legends like Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf. This created a cultural exchange that benefited both sides. It also changed how guitar was played in rock music. Guitarists like Eric Clapton learned blues phrasing and techniques from Chicago blues artists. His expressive solos became a hallmark of blues rock and influenced future genres like hard rock and heavy metal. Another effect was the expansion of musical vocabulary. British bands blended Chicago blues with jazz improvisation and folk elements, making their music richer and more layered. They also used electric instruments and amplification techniques that Chicago blues artists pioneered, which gave their performances a more spontaneous and emotional feel. This fusion of styles led to new subgenres and a broader musical landscape within rock. Practically, this meant that British bands often covered Chicago blues songs, used blues scales and rhythms, and incorporated electric guitar techniques. The emotional depth and improvisational spirit of Chicago blues encouraged British musicians to perform with more feeling and spontaneity. This approach became a signature of British rock concerts and recordings, making the music more lively and authentic. In the end, Chicago blues unexpectedly became a bridge between traditional American blues and the rising British rock scene. It influenced the sound, the style, and even the attitude of many bands. From a jazz point of view, it shows how African American musical innovation, through electrification, improvisation, and rhythmic vitality, shaped multiple genres and kept evolving. This cross-pollination helped create the vibrant, diverse world of modern rock music we enjoy today.